Good morning.
Good morning. We love everybody who's here this morning. Thanks for coming.
Lately I've been reeling, watching the nightly news. Don't seem to find the rhythm, just wanna sing the blues. Feels like a song that never stops. Feels like it's never gonna. Gotta get that fire back in my bones before my heart turns into stone. So somebody please pass the megaphone. I'll shout it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All hear my prayer tonight. I'm singing to the sky. Give me the strength to raise my voice. Let me testify. All hear my prayer tonight. 'Cause this is do or die. This time has come to make a choice, and I choose joy. Let it move you. Let it move you. Let it move you. Oh, I choose joy. Let it move you. Oh, let it move you. Let it move you. Yeah, back when I was younger, my eyes were full of life. But now that I am older, I live at the speed of life. Feels like the cycle never stops. Feels like it's never gonna. Gotta get that fire back in my bones before my heart turns into stone. So somebody please pass the megaphone. I'll shout it on the count of 3, 2, 3, and all hear my prayer tonight. Can sing it to the sky. Give me the strength to raise my voice. Let me testify. All hear my prayer tonight. 'Cause this is do or die. The time has come to make a choice, and I choose joy. Let it move you. Let it move you. Oh, let it move you. Oh, I choose joy. Let it move you. Oh, let it move you. Let it move you. Though I walk through the valley in the shadow of night, oh, with you by my side, I'm stepping into the light. I choose joy. Let it move you. Oh, let it move you. Let it move you. I need that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I need that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay.
Yay! Good morning. All right, we're going to keep you going. All right, Austin.
Oh, you're the feeling I cannot deny.
Tonight.
You're the fire that makes me come alive.
Tonight.
It's a love that I can't hide, burning deep inside wherever I go. Wherever I go, I got that good feeling, kicking me out of my chair, dancing like I don't care. Come on, I got that good feeling, shout it out 'cause I can't contain it. I got to tell somebody, gotta tell somebody, gotta tell somebody, gotta tell somebody, yeah, yeah. Oh, you're the sun that's lighting up the sky.
The sky.
You're the thunder waking up the night.
The night.
The sound of living truth. It's a beat that makes me move wherever I go. Wherever I go. Come on, I got that good feeling, kicking me out of my chair, dancing like I don't care. I got that good feeling, shouting out 'cause I can't contain it. And I got to tell somebody, gotta tell somebody, gotta tell somebody, gotta tell somebody. I got to tell somebody, gotta tell somebody, gotta tell somebody, gotta tell somebody. Oh, screaming from the rooftops, I won't stop, I won't stop, singing with my whole heart, singing till the beat drops. I won't stop, I won't stop, yeah, come on. I got that good feeling, kicking me out of my chair, dancing like I don't care. I got that good feeling, shouting out 'cause I can't contain it. Sing it! I gotta tell somebody, gotta tell somebody, gotta tell somebody,
Gotta tell somebody.
I got to tell somebody,
Gotta tell somebody.
yeah,
Gotta tell somebody.
yeah,
Gotta tell somebody.
Wow. Good morning, Riverside. We at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Kauai, Gabrielina Tongva, the Kich, and Luis Sueños people. We commit to live in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly on this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as Great Spirit intended, in harmony with nature and with one another. So again, good morning and welcome to our Sunday gathering. I am, if you don't know me, Mike Kataoka. I'm a longtime member of this wonderful center, and I'm appropriately dressed today, as Rev Jeff dresses, right? And okay, so we here at RCSL know that love lives here. So I'm going to be your host today. I'm very honored to be your host because you know Reverend Jeffrey is on sabbatical. In fact, he and Ed are been in New York, you know, soaking up the local color, the culture, and a lot of food from what I see in Facebook posts. I'd like to say hello to everybody joining us online, our live stream. So we have, well, Karen's here, and in cyberspace, James Woods, that yoga dude, Corey Windsor-Stevens, John and Lupe. So good morning to you all online. I want to remind you here in the sanctuary to please silence your phones so that our time together is uninterrupted. So now, let's get the band back up and get moving. Okay? Here we go.
I know you know it, guys. Spirit, you're alive in us. You're alive in us right here. Spirit, you're the light in us. Shining bright through us right here. Spirit, you're the love
rising up beyond the hush. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We feel it,
We feel it,
reveal it.
we believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we see it, believe it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we see it, believe it. It's spirit. We see it, believe it. It's spirit. We see it, believe it. It's spirit. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Jeannie Kataoka, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at the Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, and I am also an ordained animal chaplain. I will be available for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room following service. Please don't leave with anything on your heart, be it a celebration or a challenge. We like to handle both of them. We often get challenges, but it's nice to have celebrations to get to pray about as well. Now, because we know that prayer works, right? Right, yeah. Now please allow this music to take you into the silence, followed by this morning's invocation.
I will make a quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the one, wait upon the one. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the one, wait upon the one. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will wait upon the one, wait upon the one. Oh, be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will wait upon the one, wait upon the one. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. I will listen. I will listen.
So, settling into that quiet place where Spirit resides within. I know that Spirit is here among us. It is everywhere we are. It flows in and out of us. It is what brings us peace, that peace that passes all human understanding. Unspeakable joy, joy, unconditional love, all the good that we can imagine, all the names that we can put to it, and so much more. And I know that I am one with that entity that we know by so many names. What I also know is that you are with it as well. What I don't know is if you know that. So please say after me, I am peace. I am love. I am joy. I am a beautiful, wonderful, perfect child of the divine. Thank you. I let this be, and together we say, and so it is.
Define me with all your words, then find me a lesson to be learned. You can brand me or burn me, and I won't let it hurt me.
Define me as what I am, then try me as just a simple man. I'm no harm to you, I'm just doing the best I can.
And if I'm defined by what I do, then what am I supposed to call you? The shadow of a broken past you abuse.
And if I can stand on my 2 feet, I'll break the wall where we meet. I'll document our combination for you.
We're starting this party tonight, where people will be undefined and love who they want when the judgment is done, and won't have to hide.
We're starting this party right now, where people can shake off their doubt and send out their love as it moves through the crowd, and people can shout
That they love the man,
or they love a woman,
and
no one will be judged for love.
and I can't be judged
For who I am.
Define me with broad cliches.
But I won't undergo any hate for a stranger's mistake.
I struggle through the boundaries of society's needs.
And now I'm not trying to please.
It's freeing. Define me as God's child.
I'm human and we're all in the wild.
This earth is as much mine as yours in the end. So let's unite as friends. And if I can lie and has got a point, and we're a moving joint.
And if I can say my prayers at night, I think I'm doing something right. Let's open up a song of safety and carry through the night.
We're starting this party tonight, where people will be undefined and love who they want when the judgment is done, and won't have to hide. We're starting this party right here, where people will shake off their fears, and mass tolerance is replaced with resistance, and everyone cheers that they
Love a man,
or they
love a woman.
and no one will be judged for love, and I can't be judged for who I am. They love a man.
We're starting this party
Oh, they love a
tonight.
woman.
We'll be
And no one will be
undivided
judged
and
for
love
love,
who they
and I can't be judged for
want.
who I am.
Who I am. Starting this party tonight.
Who I
Oh, thank you, Ben. Wonderful job. Great. So a few more of our friends have joined us online. So good morning to Raymond Fernandez, Gregory Cuellar, Ro Bogan, and Marty and Vicki Ross. I think that's the, okay. So let's come together in consciousness for a moment and say our focus statement together. Is it up? Okay. Ready? We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Great. So now I have the honor of welcoming back our guest speaker. He was here, what, the first weekend in June, right? So it's ministerial intern Jesse Keeler, who's a licensed spiritual practitioner through the Centers for Spiritual Living in Long Beach. Right? Okay, yeah. He completed his practitioner studies in 2020 and is currently a member of Namaste CSL in Long Beach. Jesse serves the community in a variety of ways, including facilitating a weekly morning spiritual practice call, providing prayer, knowing the divine wholeness of individual congregants, in addition to spiritual coaching for his clients. He believes in the oneness of all creation and the vital importance of caring for our earth. Since 2018, he has led the Order of the Sacred Earth, Orange County, which promotes developing a personal connection with our earth through spiritual practices to become the best lovers and protectors of the planet we can be. In the fall of 2022, he started ministerial studies at the Centers for Spiritual Living and is taking this new path of his spiritual journey one course at a time. Jesse loves exploring his relationship with the world and his place in the cosmos. He is fascinated by how thought shapes the way a person experiences life. You could read some of his musings on his blog, www.growingedgebeing.com. So let us give a big Riverside welcome to Jesse.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Good morning, beloved community. Oh, Oh, yeah, wow. You guys are on top of it this morning. It's really an honor to be here with you this morning. I know there is so much wisdom in this room, and I'm honored to be here, and I know probably the greatest thing I can share with you right now is just let you know who you truly are as divine, creative children of the Spirit. So as you know, you may know Alice Walker, the author. Yes? And she said, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. I was thinking about that quote in terms of this book. How many people have started working on this 15 commitments? A few of you have. Amazing book. So it looks really thick, right? It looks like a lot of reading, but it's a really good read. It reads quick. There's pictures in here too. For those of you who like pictures, I like pictures. So. Pretty big letters too. Like the text is a good size. So the reason I wanted to bring up the experience of stepping into your power, because that's what this time is right now for your community, is for each and every one of you to step into your leadership from where you are, to move your community through this great time of change. I want to call in your ancestors, all the people that came before us, to make it possible for us to have this moment. And also, what's ahead of us, what's unfolding. Because this is who you're being asked to stand on the shoulders of, as well as to create something new through Spirit. So just a reminder why we're talking about leadership. And leadership just not as an external, something that's outside of you, leading within the community, but internally. How do you leading yourself to a greater spiritual understanding of who you are? So you ready for commitment 4? Come on, Riverside. Are you ready for commitment 4? Yes. We've got it up there, Jocelyn. All right. Commitment 4, above the line. I commit to saying what is true for me. I commit to being a person to whom others can express themselves with candor. So there's 2 parts to this commitment. The speaking part, I commit to saying what's true for me. Oh, and a listening part. I commit to being a person to whom others can express themselves with candor. And how's that saying go? We've got 1 mouth and 2 ears, so we could spend twice as much time listening as we do talking, says the guy who's standing up in front of you talking. So generally, candor means speaking the truth. Agree on that? So how many of you are comfortable speaking your truth or speaking your mind in all situations? All situations. You're comfortable speaking your mind and speaking your truth. Okay, well, I saw some hands go up and some hands go down. It's different when I say all, right? So this book's really focused on leadership. It's kind of focused on leadership in business. But I think this conversation of candor can be nuanced. Kind of depends on the situation, how comfortable we are. And we'll dive into that a little bit. Because I know for myself that it also depends on where you come from, what your experiences are with speaking your truth. I grew up in a home where my mother was schizophrenic, which if you're familiar, if you grew up in a situation or you know people that grew up in a situation with alcoholic family, It's very similar in the sense there's a lot of uncertainty. You never know what's going to happen. So I grew up in a situation where, it was probably in my best interest to not always be fully open. I may be truthful, but I might not be fully open. So throughout my adult life, what I've been learning how to do is to be more open. In the book, there's a talk about, are we concealing or are we revealing? And let me ask you this. If we're not revealing and we're withholding, what might be some of the reasons that we withhold? Like we don't share our full truth. Anybody want to share? Anybody got any ideas about that? Projections? Rejection. Fear. Trust. We don't trust it, right? Those are really good. Yes. Maybe, what about if I say something that's not going to matter anyway? Right? And those are all the ways that we try to protect ourselves, kind of stay in our safe zone. In The Science of Mind, our founder, Ernest Holmes, wrote, "Harmony can never become discord. The truth can never produce a lie. God can never be less than God. Could God enter into a field of strife? Then he would not be God." So God's everywhere and in everything. So how come he's not in the strife or in the discord? Because this is the way I understand it, is that God, the God of your understanding, my understanding, this thing we call life, is everywhere and in everything. Yet, the qualities of God are love, joy, freedom, truth with a capital T. And it's only when we kind of squeeze off our connection with that truth, with that love, with that joy, that we create the discord. So it's through that separation. So the same thing when we're not always able to speak our truth, to totally be candid. Some of the things that happen when we're not fully in connection with Source, when we're not fully able to be truthful, is we develop judgments about other people. We might develop these false beliefs or make projections about people. In the community I'm in Namaste, we are actually been in a year-long conversation with another community, Seal Beach, about merging together. And we did make a decision to merge together. And through that decision, we came together as two communities to have conversations in small groups. And in one of the groups I was in, there was a gentleman from another community. And no matter what we did in the meeting, we always locked horns. No matter what we did. And it got to the point where I started to withdraw. I wasn't saying anything that much. I got quiet, and he'd get quiet. And then one of those days when we locked horns, I'm like, that's it. We're taking this outside. And he said, fine, let's take this outside. So when we took it in a private space, we started sharing with each other. And what we both quickly realized was we had brought our own personal stories into that meeting. I had been making up stories about who he was, and he'd been making up stories about who I am. And when we finally shared who we both really are, we went, oh, you're not who I thought you were. This is so much better. You're way better than I thought you were. And since then, we've been able to connect with each other. And those qualities, like he has this exuberance and this love of life, and he likes to joke around. Those things that were irritating me, it's like, now I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that about you. I wish I had a little bit more of that in my life. I don't know if he's gotten anything out of me that he wants to take back, but one can only hope. And when we're disconnected from Source, we're also depleting our own energy. And again, from Science of Mind and Ernest, we cannot contract the infinite but we can expand the finite. So when we step into our truth, to this greater expression of who we are, when we create these safe spaces for one another to share, we can expand our experience. We can create a whole beloved community. So how do we wrestle with this idea of being candid, with candor, speaking truthfully? How do we resolve some of those issues we bump into? Since I'm full of Science of Mind quotes today, I got one more for you. In the Science of Mind, we learned that persistent, constructive thought is the greatest power known and the most effective. If the visible effect in our lives is not what it should be, we know the remedy. The truth is always the remedy. And the truth, capital T truth, is that the law of liberty is the only real law. When we reverse the process of thought, the effect will be reversed. So in essence, what you all know who've been studying for a while know, and for those of you that are new, or for those that are watching us streaming that might be new, when we change the way we think, we change the way we experience our lives, or the way we experience this world. That's because we're in this capital T truth that is divine, creative spirit, that is God, that is this thing we call life. And that life is freedom, it's joy, it's love. In the 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, they talk about the 3 circles of candor. And I kind of like this idea. So we kind of had this, earlier I said that candor is about telling the truth. That's just kind of a general definition. Well, they expand this a little bit, and they create these 3 circles. One is the circle of truthfulness. What I say represents my reality accurately. What I say represents my reality accurately. And then there's the circle of openness. I say everything I need to say. And then there's the circle of awareness. I see as much as there is to see. So these circles kind of overlap each other, and they create candor. So you can see how this nuance comes in, where we're at with truthfulness or openness or awareness, where those circles, which circle might be bigger or smaller, and how they're overlapping with each other. I had an experience at work this past week, because of course I'm thinking about this conversation I'm going to have with you, so it's got to come up somewhere in my life, right? About candor. And I work with a really good group of people. It's probably the best group of people I've ever worked with. But every once in a while we get people-y and, stuff comes up. A colleague of mine, we're talking, and just starts digging in her heels. And I explained to her very clearly and as politely that this is the situation, this is the schedule we're on, this is what needs to be done. She digs in a little bit deeper. Again, I explain, this is the situation, this is the schedule, this is what needs to be done. Again, she digs in her heels. And this time, I'm a little more cranking up. I can feel it in my body. I'm starting to get my breath's getting a little short. My chest is getting too tight. I explain to her the situation, the schedule, and what needs to be done. She does it again a 4th time. Finally, I just say no. She comes back again. And now I'm just like a ball of fire. It's in my chest. I can feel my fist clenching up. And I'm starting to play something in my head that I can't repeat in this room. I had a moment, I said, excuse me. I took a moment to take a break. I walked out, took a little break, came back in. This is what she wants. And I have this moment where I could have said something to her. And I'm thinking about this book. I'm thinking, okay, I got this example of candor that I'm going to be sharing, and I've got to be an exemplar of candor. That's going on in my head, and I'm all balled up in a fire, and I realize, okay, I'm hungry. I am very hungry. This is right before lunch. And I'm angry. I think we call that hangry now. Is that what we call it? Hangry? Being hangry? Not a good thing for Jesse to be. Not where you want to meet me. And I have a choice, and I'm like, I got to say something. And I realize I am not in a place of love right now. And if I say anything, it's not going to be pretty. So I made a choice, and I didn't say anything in that moment. So I'm still wrestling with this idea of candor and when to be truthful and when to be open and when to share. The things I know is that when we share, it comes from a place of love. There's a lot of sharing going on in the world right now that's not coming from a place of love. Yeah? It's not helping this situation. So really, for me to come back to that place of I'm connected with Spirit. I'm a divine child of God. Source wants to work through me, as love. How can I be love right now? And I would pose the idea that sometimes that means being silent and finding another opportunity to share when I'm in a better place. So there's some suggestions in the book about how to speak unarguably with people. And it's basically using I statements. And I'm having the thought that I feel, I am having a bodily sensation that, and filling it in. And what those statements also help us to do as individuals is just to pause. Where am I at right now? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What's going on in my body? Because each of us comes to a different awareness of where we're at through one of those places, our thoughts, our feelings, or what's going on in us physically. Our commitment is to reveal our stories, holding them lightly and expressing them lovingly. Our commitment is to reveal our stories, holding them lightly and expressing them lovingly. All right, so we've talked about the speaking part. Let's go back to the listening part, because remember, there's a listening, that's the second part of the commitment. Now, most of us, and I should say, probably just say I, was not really taught how to listen. And I was taught to listen so that waiting my turn to speak. How many of you feel that? Like, I'm just listening until I get my turn to speak. Or I'm listening to figure out how I'm going to fix it. Right? Some of us are good fixers. Right? I know how to fix it. There's a moment, though, when we're there in that idea of when I'm listening to speak, or I'm listening to fix it, or whatever else that I might be doing in my head, I'm not really listening to the other person, am I? So to create these safe spaces for one another as a community, we really need to develop this skill of listening. How do we listen to one another? And the wonderful thing about our spiritual community is that everyone's coming with their best and their highest good. Right? They're working on their spiritual journey, so they want to be heard and seen, and they're going to do their best. So knowing that, when we listen. What's recommended in the book is what I call whole body listening. So listening head, heart, and the gut. It's not just listening on what's going on inside of me, but listening for what's going on inside of the other person. What is the words that they're speaking? What are those words saying? Are they expressing any emotion with those words? what is in their gut, or what is it they want me to hear? One of the best skills I ever learned was through a couples therapist I went to, and I'll share that story another time. But she talked about just reflecting back what somebody said. So when you're listening, just take that opportunity to reflect back, not word for word necessarily, but this is what I heard. This is what I heard you say. And maybe asking, it sounds like you're angry, or it sounds like you're sad. And not to guess what that person is saying, but wait for that person to confirm it. Yes, that's what I heard. Yes, what you heard is correct. That's what I said. Yes, I'm feeling sad. Or so that this is a way to connect with other people and connect with them deeply. Now, I want to just put in a little caveat there. Most of the time, when you reflect back what you've heard and you've really heard it, the person will stop talking. They might talk a little bit longer because you missed something in there, but once you get it, it'll stop the conversation. It'll stop and you'll be able to move on. There's some instances where people are in a state of trauma or something else is going on in their physicality or their mental space, and they're going to keep talking. So just be aware of that. If you're listening, you're able to repeat it. The person is confirming that, yes, this is what I said. Then you can have this safe space for that conversation. Am I making sense? Yeah. All right. So this is your call to action. I've got 2 calls to action this week, but you get to choose which one. So for those of you who would like to work on your speaking this week, anybody want to work on their speaking this week? All right. Thank you so much. So for you this week, your call to action is to practice completing the unarguable statement throughout your day. So you might set a timer or something just so you know when to do it. I'm having a thought about, or I'm having a feeling, or I noticed. So that's your call to action. How about those of you that want to practice listening? All right. Yes. I want you to practice listening to someone and reflecting back to them what you heard until they confirm for you, yes, that's what I said. Just practice it. See what happens. And one of the things that, for those of you that are a little further down this path of listening, one of the things I've started to do is, after I've listened to someone, is ask, right now, do you want me to just listen? Do you want me to give you a solution? And in some cases, do you just need a hug? And you'll be surprised. Sometimes people are like, wow, nobody's ever asked me what I really want, what I really need right now. So with that, my beloved community, thank you so much for allowing me to share with you. I want to take you into a little prayer. And no prayer is little. When there's the divine creative spirit that is God, that is everywhere and in everything, that is in this sanctuary, that is in each and every person, that is here in this sanctuary, that's in the virtual realm, that is watching us streaming. They're here with us right here and right now in the presence of God. And this thing called life moves through each and every person that is here, expressing as them, through them, expressing to be the divine agents for positive transformation that this world needs. Right here, right now, my beloved community of Riverside, go out into the world and express your awesomeness. Share with you the world, all your wisdom, and create this beautiful community, this beautiful world that you know is possible. Thank you. So it is. Thank you, Riverside. Thank you. Blessings.
nothing wrong with loving who you are. She said, 'cause he made you perfect, babe. So hold your head up, girl, you'll go far. Listen to me when I say I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause God makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hide yourself in regret, you'll just love yourself and you're set. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Ooh, there ain't no other way. Baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. Ooh, there ain't no other way. Baby, I was born this way. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Give yourself prudence and love your friends. Subway can rejoice your truth. Oh, in the religion of the insecure, I must be myself, respect my youth. A different lover is not a sin. Believe capital H-I-M. I love myself, I love this record, and me more, voulez-vous, yeah. I'm beautiful in this way. God makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Don't hide yourself in regret, just love yourself and you're set. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Ooh, there ain't no other way. Baby, I was born this way. Baby, I was born this way. Ooh, there ain't no other way. Baby, I was born this way. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. No matter gay, white, or straight, lesbian, transgender life, I'm on the right track, baby, I was born to survive. No matter white, black, or beige, Chola or Orient maid, I'm on the right track, baby, we were born to be brave. I'm beautiful in my way. God, he makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. Don't hide yourself in regret. Just love yourself and you're set. I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. I was born this way. Hey, I was born this way. Hey, I'm on the right track. I was born this way. I was born this way. Hey, I was born this way. Hey, on the right track, baby. I was born this way.
Thank you, Lady
You're welcome.
Jabel. And thanks
Lady
again.
Jabel, I love that.
Thanks again to Jesse for a great talk. Thanks, Jesse. So I'd like to invite our beloveds in service to come forward. Collecting on behalf of the congregation are Cindy Lambert and Frank Conley. And receiving on behalf of the congregation is practitioner Dr. Jeannie Kataoka.
Doctor.
Your conscious contributions to this center allow us to continue all of our wonderful work. And one of the easiest ways to give is via text to give. Just send a text to 951-419-5858 with the amount you'd like to contribute. And you can also go to our website, riversidecsl.org, click on the link in the upper right-hand corner under the tab Contribute. And for those in the sanctuary, you can do it the more traditional analog way and drop your contributions into the baskets as they come around. And we are so grateful for your ongoing generosity. So please place whatever you're giving over your heart, or use your phone if it's going to be text to give, as we say this affirmation together. I give and receive freely and generously, with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. So rich. Sing it with us, you got it. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love. We have everything we need. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love. We have everything we need. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are. So rich. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love. We have everything we need. Dripping in joy, dripping in peace, dripping in love. We have everything we need. So rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich, so rich we are.
Dripping in joy,
So rich, so rich,
dripping
so
in
rich,
peace,
so rich,
dripping in
so rich, so rich we are. So rich.
Okay, just a few announcements before we go to Johnson Hall for coffee and snackies. So, first off, right, community update. It's today in Johnson Hall, 11:30. And so join us for an update on what's going on in the center, including the sale of the center, this property. And let's see. Oh yeah, that yoga dude. James Woods, first Saturday, that'll be next Sunday, 3 o'clock, the chair yoga. And then Raven's Call will be Saturday, it's coming Saturday, at 9 o'clock. Right? Okay. And I think that's it. One more thing, I'd like to offer our congratulations to Reverend Dr. Victoria Bomberry, whose ordination was yesterday, and wish her well in her new assignment, which is going to be spiritual director of the Menifee Valley CSL. So congratulations, Reverend Victoria. Okay, so let's stand for the affirmation and benediction. The affirmation, I'll say it, and then you can repeat it. I speak my truth. I speak my truth. Okay, please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. I receive it. And I move love forward. Because love lives here. Happy Sunday, everybody. Sing it.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it, share it, receive it. And I move it forward because the love lives here.
in a week.
you all.
Go get some snackies,
Sunday.
too. When the world gets you down and you're feeling lonely and you can't find the truth or find your center, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we love each other, and the scars that we see just make us stronger. They breathe it in together. We'll hold you up with grace. We know that love lives here in you and me. Love is here. My soul breaks free. So excited to be united with you. Where love lives.
Love is here.
Love lives.
Love is here.
When life gets you down, you can't see the future. When it all seems too much for you to handle, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we pray together, and the hurt that you feel will be set free. We'll breathe it in together. We'll hold you up with grace. You know that love